Monday, we're going to get things started with the one and only Kim Kardashian. She's been busy.
Yeah.
She's busy. She spoke to a class at Harvard Business School on Friday. Why was she there, you ask? She was there to discuss her billion-dollar shapewear brand, Skims. Now, unfortunately, that didn't go over well with some people on Twitter who questioned why. Why was she there? Why does she deserve that opportunity? I don't know, like a $3 billion company, maybe?
Yeah!
What do you think?
I mean, deserve is a funny thing. Like, should she be there? Are there things to learn? Maybe. But if anything in that family, I'd rather talk to Kris Jenner or learn from her. Because she really was the mastermind behind that. And personally, just like my interest is from people who really started with almost nothing and they turned themselves into, you know, very, very successful people. Sarah Blakely, she's the one who started Spanx. We all know that this Skims was inspired by Spanx, which she started. This is a woman who I listened to a story. She teaches a master class, and I was riveted the whole time. She was selling fax machines for a living.
Wow.
And she basically was about to go to a party, and she wanted to wear a pair of white pants, and she didn't like the way her butt looked in those pants. So she took a pair of pantyhose or like control top things, cut the feet off them, and was like, well, this is something. So then she had $5,000 in savings at the time. So she took that pair of pantyhose and she went to like a lingerie manufacturing place and she iterated and she designed and she worked with them. And the little did I know is that like there was a real way of making sort of support undergarments. And a lot of it involved like pinching in at the legs. And she's like, no, get rid of that. And the people who were making it at the time were like, no, you can't get rid of that. She's like, no, get rid of that.
Wow.
We don't want that pinching. So she created this prototype and then she hustled. She called up every store across the country, the United States, and was like, finally got a meeting with the buyer at Neiman Marcus. She got a meeting with her, was given like 15 minutes. And she said halfway through that meeting, she could tell that the buyer's eyes were glazing over. She was not interested. And then she said, can you come with me to the washroom? I wanted to show you something. And the woman's like, and she put them on, and she showed her butt before and after.
No way!
That's hilarious. Those stories, to me, there's way more to learn.
That's why I think, go ahead.
Do you feel like the reaction from a lot of people online is proportionate to what this actually was? Like, people were saying, like, Harvard Business School standards have dropped. Harvard Business School should be ashamed of themselves. Like,
oh, wow.
She gave a talk. Like, it wasn't a course. Kim said, like, oh, I'm part of a course. It was like, it's this extracurricular thing, apparently, where first and second year MBA students can go. It's optional. You don't even get credit. Last year, they had Tracy Ellen Roth give a talk, and this year they also have the chef David Chang. It's like this, like, you know, when you're on campus, come to this free talk.
Right.
So this, like, I just feel like the anger doesn't match what actually went down.
Yeah, fair. Well, that's Twitter.
Yeah.
They need, that's Twitter.
Twitter for you.
I love what you were saying, Cyn, because I think there should be a differentiation between like courses or visits by people who started at the bottom and then those who were born with a silver spoon in their mouth. And I'm not gonna knock Kim's hustle. I don't wanna do that. She's built a $3 billion empire. But if we believe that she and the Spanx founder started at the same place, they did not.
That is correct.
And I want to probably, if I was gonna go, I mean, listen, if you're paying that much tuition at Harvard, you better be bringing in big names because I'm paying a lot of money to be there, so good for them to bring her in.
Yeah.
But also bring in, which to Kim's credit, she did, there are, okay, I have to say this carefully. I don't want to say the real brains behind the business. Kim is the face.
Yeah.
And you know, to have a recipe for success in business, you need a product, you need an audience, and that equals hopefully some success. So who's bringing the product? Because we know Kim is bringing the audience with her 300 million plus followers on Instagram. Yeah. But the brains, she has said, is a couple by the name of Jens and Emma Grede. And that is actually who created Skims as we know it with Kim. So this is the couple that I would like to hear, which the husband did go with Kim to Harvard because they created the idea with Kim, but then they actually took and leveraged her 300 million followers and said, look, we've got a built-in audience. We got to bring the right product, and then boom, all these years later, not even that many years later, $3 billion valuation on Wall Street. So to me, that's who I also want to listen to because I'm not going to knock her hustle. We were just looking on Instagram before we came out here, and the Crave show, White Lotus, in case you haven't seen it, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Kim K on her Instagram just tapped If you guys know Lucia and Mia, that's all I'm gonna say. They are now the faces of her Valentine's Skims campaign. Guess whose idea that was? Apparently Kim's, and that's brilliant.
It's brilliant.
So listen, I'm not gonna knock her, but let's be honest. She started out of the gate way ahead of the rest of the folks who are also hustling.
That's true. No one's debating that, right?
Yeah.
But does it mean, like, if you're looking at a post-secondary institution and a business school, does that mean there's nothing to learn there? And I do think that given what the talk was about, there probably is something to learn there. I don't think that, to me also, I think, like, if I was going there, if I went to Harvard, well, I think the subject matter was a little bit, I don't think it really could address what you can learn from Kim Kardashian. The subject matter was moving beyond DTC, which is direct to consumer. So they're looking at, and this is definitely a Harvard Business School issue, is how do you move beyond attracting the consumer, like removing the middleman, no retailing going straight. So online, how do you move beyond online sales? And I think this is about the attention economy. What you just said there, the attention economy of being able to hire Lucia and Mia from the White Lotus to get into your new campaign, that is a skill. That is a business skill, okay? So if you're giving a talk or if you're doing a talk about the attention economy and monetizing the attention economy, because not everybody can. I am so thirsty for attention and I am not a billionaire. I am constantly out here, like, trying to monetize the things I do, like basically shamelessly every day, and I am not a billionaire. So there is a skill to that.
Yep.
There's a beautiful skill to that, as she has done. But I also think that from a brand perspective, let's not forget, I know you've credited those other two people with building Skims, but Kim came up with a name for her brand initially called Kimono. We talked about it on the show. That's what Skims used to be called. It came out of the gate culturally appropriating Japanese culture, tons of controversy, and somehow within 6 months, she pulled off a name change, a brand refit, and $3 billion valuation. You're telling me you can't learn from that? You're telling me you can't learn from that?
Do you think she's talking about that, though? I'm curious.
But that's, to me, that's up to Harvard to set the course, right? Like, I've set university courses before, and I would talk about rebranding, I would talk about attention economy, and then I would talk about appropriation and the whole difference between Spanx and Skims, because there's a cultural difference there.
Yes, you're right.
That is,
You're right.
I think, a really interesting case for business.
You're right.
Wow, I want to take Lainey's class at Harvard Business School.
Hey there! Wasn't that great? Do you know where you can find some equally good content? Our YouTube page. It's filled with discussions, debates, and some laughs. Head there now, like and subscribe.